You ready?
I am. Are you ready for an intro? Are you
ready for?
Are you ready for an intro?
I'm ready. We're ready.
And I actually have the outro on here as well.
Look at you finally.
Dictionary.com defines an unplanned approach
Champion.
as impromptu, done without preparation,
suck.
unwitting, done without awareness, spontaneous, done without thought. Wait a minute. That means you guys don't have a plan?
No.
Well, that's dumb. You might as well start the show.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Still not a plan.
Still no plan.
All right, Kyle. Sunday evening.
Yep.
Weekend good.
It was interesting. I'm not going to say bad. Bad would be incorrect.
Well,
but,
you went to the state championships, right? Was that this weekend? Was that
No,
last
that was
weekend?
last weekend.
Was it?
Yes.
God, I'm losing my mind then.
Yeah, I could definitely whine about that. But,
Okay, so high school state championships.
hang on. Let me do one thing real fast. Hang on.
These glasses I've got nicks in these glasses. I can't hardly stand it. I'm gonna go glass. I can't even see the screen though if I do that. Holy cow, that's awful. My God. These are this is what you get when you get Amazon glasses, dude. Right here.
Those are Amazon glasses?
Yes, I get that. Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Doesn't Ninja make glasses?
Hey, I got a
Ninja needs to make
I got a
some
Ninja
glasses.
surprise for you, and I'm telling you, this is the last damn product I buy theirs until they send me one.
Until they start just shipping.
I'm telling you,
product.
it's bull. I mean, I went on YouTube and I looked at Ninja Swirls, the ice cream machine,
Right.
and they've got all these D-bags, doing these things, and I'm like, I bet none of these guys have ever bought a Ninja product. They just got into this,
Right.
and they're like, just send us something, we'll take a look at. Nobody, camera, nobody. Am I in that?
Oh yeah, that's what I checked on. No,
I look
It's
like
all
I'm
good.
off to the side.
I don't
When I
think
put
so.
my hand over here, I'm on. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
When I looked at it, you were well in
Did
frame.
I look good?
Yeah, you look
Nice. Of course I did.
Of course.
But no, seriously,
good. How could you not?
I bet all these people that do this shit, that do these reviews, don't even have the products. You know what I mean? Like, I like Ninja products. I'm pretty bent on Masterbuilt right now because I had that damn pork butt in the in my smoker, and it all of a sudden the fan doesn't kick on, so the temperature died. So I'm going to be cooking that till 10 o'clock tonight.
Well, it's not like you got anything going on.
Nothing, not one thing.
Right.
But outside of that, let's see. My brother was going to come on, and he was going to have some great stories about the old neighborhood.
So was mine.
Yeah.
But he's busy watching TV. So
Yeah. Hey, how is that going, Kurt? I was
Right.
like, I mean, Bill,
right, whatever.
whatever you want to be called. So go back to, we were the Indiana High School State Championship baseball was playing.
Yes.
State championship last weekend. You texted me
yes.
and said there was a team. We won't say the team.
No, we won't say the team because it doesn't matter.
Because we both know people that have kids on it.
Yes.
And one of them was real excited about it when he told me about his team winning, and I thought, man, I heard they were kind of being jackasses.
They should be. They should be fired up that they won. I mean, they did. They won.
And they killed them, didn't they?
And they killed them. It was
they kicked their ass.
foregone conclusion.
Right.
The things I didn't like were, I would call it Bush League, and I'm so tuned into, what do you want to say? I'm so tuned into, will kids continue to play and love the game? Because if they don't love the game dies.
Right. Sure.
Because they don't send their kids to play. They don't watch it. The game dies.
Right.
So anything that is counter to that, I'm not a fan of.
So hit me with some examples.
So running a score up.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Like how? How did they do that? It ended up being like a double digit, right?
Yes.
Like 14-1 or something.
Yes. Well, you've kind of nailed the thing now, but
I don't care.
Right,
I won't say the name. I can always say deny.
Right. And it's not like it was awful. I mean, you're in state and you can score runs, so
right.
I do get the other side of it, but you're up 9 or 10-1. You're taking bases on passed balls. You're taking the extra base on every hit.
How late in the game?
At the end of it. I mean, we're talking 6th and 7th inning.
Oh, really? And it's pretty obvious you're dominating. Like, they're not hitting your
You're
pitching.
up 10. You're up 10. You're up 10.
That's kind of shitty.
You're up 10 in the 6th.
And
you're up 10 in the 7th.
And you're supposed to be
and you're still going.
parochial school.
And you're still going. Well, they recruit. We all know. They
Mine
recruit.
didn't.
Yeah, right.
Mine didn't.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, my dad once said, if they're giving out scholarship money, I've had 3 kids go through here, and they'd be getting scholarships.
All right. But
so we didn't cheat.
So I didn't love it, and then the game ended on a line drive hit to the shortstop, and he caught it clean. The kid that hit it, he hit it hard. So you know that bang bang, it's off the bat and it's in his glove.
Right.
He saw the situation. The kid at the plate quit because that was out 2.
Right.
You know, I'm out, and he steps towards the dugout, and the shortstop, you watched him, he just turned the glove over, dropped the ball, pitch it to second, double play. Because the kid broke on the line drive and couldn't get back.
Right.
I mean, you could call it a very heads up play by shortstop because he was super.
Right.
You have to be hyper aware.
Right.
But he caught that, but no, he caught that ball clean. It was shoulder high. He caught it and then just went like this.
But do you think he did that because the kid quit running, or because he's like, let's turn 2? Hey, man, I guess I'd have to see the context of it.
He would have gotten it either way.
He would have gotten 2 either way.
Because if he caught the ball clean and just kept it, he probably would have got the kid at first because he broke hard and then because it was.
But a 6-4-3 is pretty sweet to end the game.
Right. And yeah,
he wasn't thinking that. No kid is smart enough to think that. You think
he turned his glove over? Yes, he did. He did. He didn't bobble it on the transfer. His glove turned 90 degrees and he dropped it on the ground.
Very interesting.
And caught it on the first bounce. You know what I mean? Drop.
Pretty crafty. Pretty crafty.
No, like I said, you can say heads up and celebrate that end of it, but on the other hand.
Was there any other baloney? Was there any other?
The pass balls and the.
They just kept running like a merry-go-round.
They're stealing. They're stealing. They're taking extra bases when you're up double digits, man. The game is over.
Right.
But on the other hand, you're at state. This could be the only time you go.
My high school did that.
I get the other half of it. I just don't love it.
My high school did that in softball a couple years ago when they were the national champs. And the reason they did it is because it looked like they set every state championship record in that game, like every one of them. They rewrote the rule. And it was kind of like that. It's like you've got an All-American senior that stole like 7 bases in that game. And they were up by probably 8 or 9.
Right.
And she had 1 more to get. And it's like, you know what? It's like Ricky being Ricky. You know?
Right.
Ricky Henderson talking about
himself. I knew
himself.
exactly who Ricky
was. I know. I don't know if everybody else does.
Right.
But it's like Ricky Henderson being Ricky talking about himself. He's like, Ricky's got to get what Ricky's got to get. And,
I said, I do understand that side of it.
Right.
And I do. Because I know people, like you said, I know people in that dugout. I knew people in that dugout.
Right.
I just didn't love how it went. I feel like you could have called off the dogs. You weren't setting.
Right.
I hit a single in the gap, and I'm trying to take 2. I'm scoring from first. You know, like, come on.
I get it. No, there's 2 sides to it.
And I don't love it. Right. And I just didn't love it. I don't hate anybody about it. I just didn't love it.
I get it. No, when we played in the Dome my senior year, I got to score in the Dome, and that was a big deal. And
you're kind of a big deal. I mean,
you know what? I was this close to taking my shirt off.
I bet you were.
But I think it would have caused a lot of problems for the other team's girlfriends.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Although,
no Jaffe's going home alone tonight.
I did. I'll tell you a funny story. So do you remember the Sherwood?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The teen dance club.
Absolutely.
The under 21 club down here.
Yes.
So before my senior year, well, you remember how that all went, right? So you used to go out and used to
pregame.
People used to pregame a little bit, and then you'd show up, and then it was a matter of who they pulled out of line. And I had buddies that got pulled out of line, and they'd been drinking or whatever.
Now, because you're a few years younger than I did not, we didn't have the pull out of line. You just showed up and you were a little buzzed.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
this was by the time we were doing it, there were fights and some other shit. It got a little crazy.
It had just started when I stopped going.
Oh yeah, okay.
Before that, it was actually a pretty good time most of the time.
And it still was. It's just there was always something. But I had met a girl at the Sherwood that went to Greenfield Central High School.
Okay.
And we played them in the Dome, and I was trying to, and I was like, I just wondered, you know how you always think about that one. I wondered if she was at that game when I basically when I introduced myself to the world.
This could have been you.
Yes, the stand up,
right?
The stand up cutout,
a little cutout. Yeah, it could be you.
Like
your face here.
Zach Morris had of Tiffy Amber Thiessen,
right,
in his closet. By the way, that's a little bit creepy. Yeah. But she was smoking, man.
Yeah.
Tiffany Amber.
Yeah.
So you said you had some stories, man. Hit me. What's happening?
I do have some stories. So, I've got a couple different stories. I'm kind of all over the map this weekend. So, one of the fun ones was...
I like your shirt.
Hey, thanks.
Is that what is that brand?
Tommy Bahama.
Is that what that is?
Uh-huh.
It's not Marlin something?
Nope, Tommy Bahama.
Damn, where'd you get that's not?
I'm all about island wear, bro.
Jack. Those are expensive. Is that because you're thinking about going on a Carnival cruise?
Yes, it could be because I'm thinking about going on a Carnival cruise.
You're going to love it, dude. You're going to come back with stitches in the tattoo.
Oh, right. Well, I've already got the one, I've got the starter.
No, you'll come back with the Carnival logo.
Right.
Have you seen, before you get into your story, so evidently there's a Netflix show called The Poop.
Absolutely.
That's a Carnival cruise.
Oh, yeah. I'm hoping that's the boat we end up on.
Dude, there's
smells like poo.
I walked in on my wife watching that, and I'm like, damn it, I wanted to watch this. I haven't watched it because I thought we could watch it together. Yeah. And they're talking about, and I thought, that doesn't seem like it'd be that bad. If you had food, I mean, it's not like you're going to die, right? It's not the Titanic.
Right.
But
there's somebody's stool is suspiciously tainted.
Well, how about...
And you're walking barefoot in it.
I wouldn't be walking barefoot in that shit. But hey, think about this when they opened the bar. Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah.
I only saw like 10 minutes of it. And they're like, well, so they opened the bar and they gave everybody free liquor. And I thought, my wife even said, God, that was stupid. And I'm like, what do you mean that would be... God, that probably... I mean, now you've got people pissed, drunk, probably fighting, pissing off the side. I mean, now
you're throwing up. There's somebody that got so drunk that they just shit everywhere.
Right.
I mean, because there's always that one. Oh, yeah.
So
you're just adding to it.
I said to Krista, you know what, as miserable that been, I'm a story. I'm all about story, man.
Yeah, bring the story.
If I'm not dying, I want a great story.
Right.
If it's not going to cost me any money or anything, I want a great story. And you got a free cruise out of that probably.
Oh, they got to give you something.
So you sell it, and then you go to Royal Caribbean, where where their toilets work,
where the beer flows like wine. Right.
So anyway, go.
So story number one. My parents have a pickup truck, and it's kind of the family community truck. Nobody drives it on the daily. It's just a truck. If somebody needs a truck, go over, grab the truck, and you do what you do.
They know you've got an El Camino. Why do you need a pickup truck? You've got a pickup car.
Hey, just in case. And I'm not.
You never know when we need two of them.
Right, and I'm not letting just anybody drive the L. You know what I mean?
I want to make out in the L. I want to take Chris. I want to cruise around town and park in a parking lot and start making out and just have people just be like, dude, we can't bother them. That guy's in an El Camino.
He's got an El Camino.
He's probably in a gang.
Right, I was about to say. He's probably dangerous.
Sorry, go.
So we've got a truck, and once a year they kind of run it through to see if there's any maintenance things that need to be done.
Run it through what?
Run it through a garage.
Run it through or drop it off?
Drop it off.
Okay.
So it's usually really minor stuff. You know, this is bad or that's bad, but really minor. And they'll either have them fix it or they do their favorite thing of all time, call Kyle.
Oh, so they find out what's wrong with it.
And then they say, hey,
Kyle, can you fix it?
Yeah. And most of the time,
part mechanic, part airline. Have you seen Kentucky Fried Movie?
Yes.
Part stuntman.
Yeah, I can.
Full-time, part-time airline mechanic.
Right.
One of the greatest.
There is some truth to that, though.
Okay.
I mean, there's pond. There's a pond with a waterfall in their backyard.
You did it. You sell yourself short.
There is a detached garage that's all lit up and
what has Kurt done for any of this? He ever helped with
He's
anything?
helped with that.
Okay.
He helped with, yeah, because it was.
You got him away from the TV?
Yeah, I got him away from TV.
He's going to be pissed when
Goliath.
he listens to this, too.
Eh.
Do something about it, Kurt.
Right. He
I like
he bought a Santa Cruz.
What?
A Santa Cruz. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's basically today's version of the El Camino.
Kurt did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, a Hyundai.
Yeah, I think.
That is a terrible version of the El Camino.
Well,
that
it's not an El Camino, but I'm saying
it's got 4 doors.
It's got 4 doors.
That's like what? That's like an El Camino had sex with a Ford. that old Explorer.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Had 4 doors.
That's it. It's the same thing.
My dad had one of those, and I thought that was a great deal till you get in it, and you're like,
This isn't great.
It's like squeezed in. You squeeze 2 people in the back of it, like a tuna fish can, and it smells as bad. Every time I smell tuna fish, you know what I think of? Tuna salad.
Tuna salad. All right.
Go ahead. So,
Anyway,
man, I've cut you off twice.
it's all right. So there's a laundry list wrong with the truck this year.
Oh,
Okay.
so you better plan accordingly.
So we've got this wrong and this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. There's like 10 things wrong, and you think you could fix it? I'm like, yeah, probably. I'll come over, and I've been out there a good part of this weekend, and so when I go do these sorts of things, my dad usually comes out and he supervises. And for those of you who don't know, Dad's quadriplegic.
God, if you don't
So
know
he's
that
not
by
gonna-
now, you haven't been listening, and
Well,
I'm
true.
disappointed.
Well,
I'm disappointed in you if you haven't been listening.
Right. But so he'll come out and he'll shoot shit with me while I'm doing whatever, right? And supervise, tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
Right. Anyway, so he does this, and this was yesterday, and yesterday it was just smoking hot.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm out there in the middle of the day because that's the time that I had free.
That's when you like to work. You want to work
right.
up a lather.
Hey,
you want to work.
You can't get this body unless
You
you
want to
do
work
little
up a
sweat.
lather.
Right.
You want the neighbor women coming out going, "Who's that young buck?"
Right. Yeah.
I feel it, man.
Right. You feel my pain.
We got to do what we got to do, man.
Right. So I'm out here and I'm trying to take off one of the hubs on the tire, and it's just battling. And so about 6 o'clock, I call it. I'm not getting this. I'll have to come out, another time. And because it's a detached garage, there's say 100 yards in between the house and this garage.
Okay.
Dad typically will drive down because it's just easier because it's kind of a downslope.
Drive in his chair.
Yeah. No. Drive in his car.
He can
Bang.
drive?
Yeah.
So he's got full function up.
No. It's
Okay.
a thing.
Sounds great.
It is. Anyway, so
Okay. I'm trying to picture it. I can't. So it's awesome, though.
so I'm like, man, it's hot. Are you sure you're all right? Because I mean, it was a cooker, especially in that garage. And I'm feeling tired, and So anyways, like, yeah, I'm fine. So I throw him in the van and I go in the house and I start to clean myself up, right? And talking to my mom, and 10 minutes pass and Dad's still not in the house. I'm like, what's he doing? So I walk around the corner. They've got like a mud room.
Right.
And then when you come out of the mud room, if you look to the right, you can see into the garage. As soon as I come out of the mud room, it was like a movie. I see the car just come in and slam into the refrigerator.
He drove. Hold on. I'm still trying to catch up with. So he drove from the detached garage
To the house.
that's
garage.
150, you said, feet away?
No, 100 yards.
100. That's what I mean. 100 yards away.
100 yards away. It's not quite that, but in the ballpark.
That's
Well, anyway, so there's a little mini fridge. It's about this high. Just imagine it's sitting next to this
Right.
wall, and I just see the front of his truck. and just caves this thing in, right? And I start laughing.
Can you fix? He goes, Kyle, can you fix that?
Actually, no, I could not fix that. Well, I start laughing immediately, and Mom goes like running past me, like, is he okay? Because he's not accident prone.
He said,
this
I can't feel my legs.
Right. I can't feel my legs. Leg. I think one fell off.
Yes. I'm missing a leg. Oh my God.
So
that's awful.
I'm laughing as I walk out. And I'm like, why the hell didn't somebody hang a tennis ball up here? Well, they have a little speed bumpy thing
right
in the garage again. So you just drove right the hell over.
You think he just got a lead foot?
No, well, maybe just the one. Maybe just the one.
All right, to remind everybody, Kyle's dad is a quadriplegic, and here I'm telling you, man, you're going to be the first ticket. You're going to get a first class ticket to hell, dude.
Well, anyway, so setting the scene, the way his van works is it's run off hand controls. Have you ever seen those?
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
I didn't think he was using pedals.
This is brake. This is gas, right?
Okay.
Well, to get into the garage, there's a little bit of a lip, about 1.5 inches.
So you had to give it gas.
And you got to give it a little gas. Well, evidently he was out of gas. So he hit the gas, and the truck takes a jump, which, I mean, he's done it a million times. They've been in that house 25 years. He never hit anything. He comes over that lip, and he was so tired he couldn't get the brake. So he just kept going.
That refrigerator will stop me. We've all been there.
Right. The fridge will stop. We've all said that. The fridge will stop me.
I backed my truck into the house.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it was that I didn't, it didn't do any damage. Well, so I have the chrome bumper. I didn't have any of the plastic. So I'm in the Dodge Ram, and I'm backing it up, and I hit something. I'm like, what the hell? And I get back there, and I look, and it was so beautiful, dude. Nobody would, like, I get shit for wrecking cars all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I hit it, and my the chrome bumper bumped up against, but you couldn't tell it wasn't dented or anything. I'm like, nice. So I got away with it. The time that I was driving on the ice over by the Catholic Church, I was going through a neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And this is a funny story. And the neighborhood was icy, and I was probably going a little too fast, and I lose control of the car. The car starts to spin, and of all the mailboxes that I'm going to hit,
right,
of all of them, this thing, I'm looking at, as I'm going around, I'm looking, and I see the mailbox to my right, and I'm like,
right.
And this thing looks like Fort Knox. This thing's being knocked down, so this guy has put bricks, mortar. I mean, this thing's going to do, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And it hits. I hit on the right quarter panel, and it spins me back around to where I can drive.
Uh-huh.
So I go drive. I drive out. I pick up whatever I was going to pick up, and I go home, and I put the car in the driveway. I didn't tell.
Right. No, absolutely not.
Didn't tell anybody anything. And so the neighbors drive. The neighbors are like the king of the 500, Mark.
Yeah.
He drives by. His wife drives by, and everybody's texting me, what happened to the car? What happened to your car? I'm like, I'm not getting into this shit. So I pulled it in the garage. And then I'm getting a text, where's your car? I said, I put it in the garage. He goes, why? So we can't see it? I go,
yes.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I can't. Did I ever tell you the story? God, this one's really good. So we leased a new Toyota Sienna minivan years ago when we first moved in here. So it's been probably 13 years or something. And we had a golf cart.
Uh-huh.
All right. On the golf cart, it had the seat in the back with the footrest. Everybody's kind of seen it.
Yeah.
So we're at the pool. We're at the neighborhood pool.
I didn't know there was a neighborhood pool. Of course there's a neighborhood pool.
It is. Well, we need to take the podcast up there because that's massive. That's people watching galore. That's tattoos from top to bottom.
I like it.
There's a whole bunch of crazy town up there. And in fact, they had to put security cameras up because 2 years ago, kids were going up there with big gulp cups, like their parents would be working. So they'd go up there because there was a lifeguard.
Sure.
And just full of booze. So these high school kids would go and just get
a little
smashed.
day drinking. Right.
Just smashed. Not day drinking, smashed.
I like
Cops were coming up every week. What a great neighborhood.
Right.
So anyway, I go out to the golf cart. Mm-hmm. And I hate to admit this, but I'd had a couple of beers. So I go out
just
to the golf.
Just a couple, though.
Yeah,
no
but
more than two.
I was just going to ride the golf cart over to the clubhouse. It's 100 yards away. Well, so I'm backing the golf cart up. You will love this. And when I hit the gas on the golf cart, the wheel was turned on the golf cart. So when I hit the gas, the wheel flipped spun back right out of my hands. And before I could grab it, I bang into this vehicle behind me like I drive right into the sliding door. Mm-hmm. It's my wife's van.
Of course it is. It's I don't know who did it.
No, this is where it gets great. It's my wife's van. So I hit it, I get a little whiplash. And I start to drive away to go to the clubhouse. Right. This lady drives by in a car in the parking lot and goes, Sir. I'm like, yes. She goes, you just hit that van with your golf cart. And I looked around. I went, it's my van. Her jaw hit the floor and I just drove off. So now she's thinking, is he full of shit?
Right.
I mean, either way, she doesn't know.
But hey, the hell with those people and that van. Just drive away. Cover your face.
I go, it's my van. And she
went, do what I want.
I'll never forget it. So I didn't tell Krista. I didn't tell her because it was on the passenger side.
So it took her like a month.
It took her like 2 weeks. And somebody said, man, what happened to your van? She goes, what do you mean what happened to nothing? What do you mean? It was probably a month old. I mean, This was bad. And here's where the real dick in me comes out, I guess, is we didn't get it fixed for like 2 years.
Right.
So when we got it fixed before we traded it in for the lease. But I'll never forget that lady's face. She goes, sir, you just hit that car with your golf cart. And I
don't care.
I go, it's my van.
Yeah, I'll do what I want.
And the look on her face like, is he serious? He can't possibly be serious. Like, hey, man, my wife has driven over. My wife's done damage to our vehicles. We're kind of calling it a truce. I've done more,
right,
for sure. But
so you're the back end of things. So what
I don't back it. I typically don't. I run into shit. Like I've rear-ended 2 or 3 people.
Mine is tires. I go through tires. I have been through more tires than any.
How you drive? People. You aggressive?
No, just. I run over
shitty
shit.
Tires.
I just run over shit in the road and they go flat.
Are you aggressive or cheap?
No, anybody's car that I borrow, anybody. If I drive it, I'll end up putting a nail in it somehow.
Kyle, don't feel bad. You know how many curbs how many times I've blown up. I mean, at one point I had a 3-car record going where I'd hit a curb 3 times with a different car, and it just blows. It just
I've never done that. I always just run in something in the road.
Rim and shit.
I run over something in the road, and the tire goes flat.
Do you not pay attention when you drive?
Yeah,
coming from the guy that's totaled 3 cars.
I ran over a bungee cord one time.
It did what?
It blew the tire out.
How?
I don't know.
It's a super bungee cord.
Right?
Was this in the L?
No,
it was in the T.
No, it was actually in a Toyota Supra.
Do they still make those?
No, this was a long time ago. But I'm saying, I have flattened more tires than I care to count. I'm in the hundreds, easy.
Wow.
Easy. It's crazy.
Do you get the insurance when you buy new tires? You know, when you get new tires, you can get the plan and it'll.
Well, that's fine.
Minus a sidewall cut.
And I have done that.
Do you know how to plug a tire?
Yeah, I have a plug kit at the house. What are you shitting? No, I have done it so much. I've gone through tire kits.
I thought maybe you just kept the kit
could change
in case your dad calls and goes, "Hey, Kyle, can you fix this?"
Yeah,
of course I can.
Of course I can. Well, that's the way all that stuff works. Hey, can you run some electricity out to the back garage?
Yeah, can we turn the power off?
I gotta cut it. I gotta cut a ditch. I gotta cut a ditch and run a line from that fuse box and out to there. Can you climb up a ladder? And if I rent a chainsaw, can you trim this tree?
You don't want to be doing that.
I've done it.
That's a bad idea.
It was a bad idea. It was a really poor idea.
Bad idea. Yeah, I don't do chainsaws and ladders.
No,
I do little hand saws.
Right.
I do trim bushes with hand saws like Miyagi's son.
Right.
Speaking of help, so my dad calls me.
Real quick before you do that, because you were talking about the mailbox, and it reminded me of in high school.
Dude, by the way, that destroyed the right side. It was bad.
So destroyed mailboxes, right? There was a teacher when I was in high school, and I don't recall his name off the top of my head, but all the guys went out and mailbox baseballed his mailbox.
Over and over again.
Over and over, right? And he was an industrial arts teacher.
Oh, so he could probably put something nice together if he wanted to. He could solder some shit.
He did. He had the students make him shit. I mean, and
Right.
it ended up going just crazy. He's doing industrial pipe and the whole thing welded.
He's laying industrial pipe.
Yes.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, gotta love that. Well, anyway, I mean, it went to the point that they had to dynamite it out, and they did.
Get out of here.
No, I'm not, and I am not kidding. I saw the mailbox in the back of their truck, and it was 4 foot of concrete. They blew it out of the ground.
Oh, because he got sick of people dicking with him?
No. I'm saying the students did it to his mailbox. He cemented it 4 foot deep.
And they blew it out.
They blew it out of the ground. They ran over it with a car. They tied a tow strap to it and pulled it out of the ground. And he did mailbox after mailbox. And this went on for years.
Did it become a gag where he was even in on it? He's like,
no. He was
always pissed.
not happy about it.
Somebody in Greenwood?
Yeah.
Nice. That's real nice of you guys, Kyle.
Well, anyway, here's the best one. So it ended up about the time that I graduated. He had driven a pipe, that big around, drove it all the way into the ground, flush with the ground, and then came out with a shepherd's hook every morning and would set the shepherd's hook in that hole with his mailbox hanging, the little plastic daily journal thing. Mail would come. He'd go out and pull the whole shepherd's hook out, take it back into the house. So every day.
He would just put his mailbox.
He admitted defeat.
Gotta love him. I don't love him. I can't win this.
Yeah, there were mementos. There were 4 guys that did it primarily, and they all had pieces of mailboxes in their rooms.
God.
Oh yeah,
bunch of dicks. Were they all in prison now?
Huh?
They all in prison now?
No.
One's the chief of police. One's the mayor of Greenwood.
2 of them are highly successful.
One does the Center Grove podcast.
Yeah, right. Exactly. 2 of them are very, very successful.
Sure they are.
I mean, like, surprisingly successful,
really?
Yes.
Well, it is typically the...
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
Hit pause. I got to go take my meat out of the oven.
Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, we're back.
Sorry about that. I had to go pull my Boston butt out of my... out of the oven.
Out of the oven.
All
right.
Yeah, I can't take it any farther. Now, let me set my timer now for 40 minutes, Kyle, as it rests.
I was going to say, I have 40 minutes right here because it's just ticking away.
Do we have? We haven't been on 40 minutes.
No. I'm saying I can keep an eye on this, and I will know when it's 40 minutes.
So I know we talk about baseball and shit a lot, but so today we had a tournament. We had a softball tournament, 10U softball tournament this weekend.
Okay.
There's one umpire. There's one guy. Well, there's a couple that are just make me roll my eyes, and I don't argue unless I'm right. Which is 90% of the time.
At least 90.
Well, but if I'm wrong, and if somebody tells me that's not the rule, it changed or something, I'm like,
sure,
I get it. Okay, thanks. But we're watching this game in front of us today, and this is I kid you not. This one particular umpire, I think he tries to find obscure stuff so that he can call it.
Right.
Doesn't matter at all in the game.
Insert myself into the
game. That's exactly what he does. Yep. And then when you argue with him, he tells you how long he's done it and how good he is at it. And my response to that on a couple occasions is, I can't believe you've been this bad at this that long.
Yeah, for this long.
As I walk away quietly so I don't get thrown out. But but other people can hear me and they laugh, and he's like, he does that.
Are you saying something?
So today, the game in front of us is in extra innings. And they're doing the international rules where the person starts on second.
Yep.
No outs. Somehow there's 2 strikes on a girl, and this is 10U. The ball is thrown up and in, right?
Okay.
She leans back, and the ball hits. I don't know if she leaned forward, whatever, but it either hit her hand or it hit the bottom.
Well, I think her reaction would probably tell you if it hit her hand, it hurts.
So What's the call there? You got two options, right?
Sure.
If the rule is like major, where I don't even know anymore if the
foul
hand
ball
is,
or hit by pitch.
right,
That's it.
calls her out.
Because he called it a foul ball on strike. No, because softball doesn't have that rule, do they?
No, I couldn't.
Or,
we're sitting
well,
there.
It's
and
not a foul ball. I'm sorry. I said foul ball. I'm saying a bunt that went foul. That would be an out. But
Okay.
softball doesn't have that rule either.
Yeah, they do. Third bunt. Yes. Now slapping is different. If you're bunting, if you're squared
I
to
didn't
bunt,
know that.
yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was.
Slapping is different. That's an attempt to swing.
Right.
So we're watching. It's not my game.
Yeah, hit by pitch or
But
foul
I'm
ball.
like, what the
There are
hell?
only two.
So obviously I've had run-ins with this guy before, and he's, like I said, he calls abstract, obtuse, goofy shit that doesn't even matter. So before our game starts, he's behind the plate again. I'm like, this is great, dude. Because he also likes to call 10U softball strikes above the hands, which means it's impossible to hit.
Right.
And if one kid can do it and the other kid can't, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever. It's consistently bad in that area, but
I
it's
can
fine.
live with consistently
Me too.
bad, though.
Me too.
Because I can adjust my way out of consistently bad.
And a couple of our pitchers are good enough that if we talk about it, they may be able to do that, which is a
Right.
learning experience, and that's
Sure.
all I really care about. But I asked him, I said, what was the call on that play last game? I said, if it hits the hand, is that a foul ball now? I mean, back in the day, it used to be hand was part of the bat,
right.
but it's not anymore, evidently.
Right, no.
And he said it hit. What did he say? He said it hit. She went, and it hit whatever he described. And knowing that I'm going to have him in the next game, I wasn't going to argue with him.
Right.
But it was something like, it hit the bat. It's foul, but it's an out. She went, and I said, there's only there's not two options there where it's either a foul ball or a hit batsman. I mean, either way, it's a dead ball.
It's a dead ball.
And he explained it, and I don't remember what he said because it was so stupid.
Nonsense.
It was so, I mean, how sometimes it's so stupid
Right.
that you're just like, I don't even want to get in. I don't even want to jump in I don't want to start digging this rabbit hole.
Right. You're going to make me dumber.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put myself in a position where I have to look at you and go, that's not even possible.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
That's not right. Yeah, and then you got to argue with some guy that's got a little badge that tells him he's always right.
And he's that way. I mean, what did he? I went and asked him some. Oh, so here's a good one. I'm not a fan of this. If a kid is pitching, warming up, you stay on your side of the dugout to warm up, right? So if we're
Absolutely. Right.
But some people will walk around and like if they're in the first base dugout, a right-handed hitter. And I don't like that because when we were younger, do you remember what happened at Wichita State and against Evansville? Guy from Evansville is warming up on the other side. Wichita State guy throws at him while he's warming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Broke his face.
Broke his face.
I mean, broke his face.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of been like, you know what? Let's not do that. So today, and we've been told several times, our girls will go to the other side and they'll say, come back. And I don't allow them to do that anyway.
No.
If I see it.
Well,
I'm like, just stay on this side.
What does it do for you?
It doesn't do anything. But so here's what happens. This game, there's a girl on our team that walks over and he's like, you got to come over here. You got to come back. I was like, guys, come over. The next inning, the other team has a girl come over. And I said, what? No, you just told us that. And you have told us that 3 or 4 times. And he goes, coach. And I said, what? He said, now, if they change pitchers, you can go to the other side. In the middle of an inning,
What?
if you change pitchers, Kyle, it's legal, evidently, and you trip softball. That if I'm in the first base dugout and I'm a right-handed hitter, I can go stand in the other person's batter's circle and do that. But hey, at the beginning of an inning, you can't, Kyle. How ridiculous is that?
I would love for someone to explain to me what
Why?
advantage you get anyway. Uh-oh.
That's the meat stick.
Oh,
That's the meat stick telling me
It's up to
all about-
temperature.
No, but seriously.
I have such a hard time with a lot of the newfangled things. I saw a kid trying to train his swing with a hula hoop yesterday.
On YouTube,
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
That's
What
could be
he's-
the most ignorant thing I've
What
ever
he's-
seen.
It's rolling through his hands or something.
No, he's
I think
just
I saw
holding
today.
the hula hoop and you're trying to keep it here's your swing plane or whatever. And I know what that's from. Do you want to know what that's from?
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
No, seriously. I know.
Get it?
No.
The hula hoops. I just want a hula hoop.
Oh, yeah.
Come
Okay.
on, Kyle.
Sorry. That's a good throwback. And
it's the Jason show.
It's
the Jason show.
It is the Jason show. Last time was the Kyle show. This time it's the Jason show. No,
So-
you know what that came from?
No.
The Swing Man.
Swing Man.
Yeah.
What's that?
Ken Griffey's logo. Put that logo in your head. Absolutely.
I know
it is.
exactly what you're talking about.
It's a hula hoop. There's some dick that's like, yeah, you want your swing to look like Ken Griffey.
Have you seen all the stupid apparatuses you can buy now to train for baseball or softball?
No, I hate it. I hate it.
Like, dude.
I seriously think that you and I should do a segment like once a week we go out and go through one thing and do it technically correct, because I think this might be a little too far away. I truly think there are a lot of single parents, especially single moms, that want their son or daughter to play better baseball, softball, and we would show them the right way. They could watch this and they could go to Billy
But
or
there's
Sally.
100 things on the net like that.
Yeah, but we're right.
I've seen some good
You
shit.
want some ego? We're right. I'm not going to show you anything that is going to hurt your kid's arm. I'm not going to show you anything that is going to make them a worse hitter.
And it's not going to cost you $85 for you to buy some
anything.
dumbass apparatus.
Right. Yeah, it's crap. We can do this at home. It'll be easy, and you will see results quickly. I've thought about doing that because I think, because I see so many single parents, they don't have that income
To go and pay $45,
right, and some of their
an hour.
kids just have a ton of talent and heart and drive, and they don't have the money to spend on such and such. And yeah,
Do you know what I want to do? I want to do a review, Kyle, on bad money spent on people that do these, that charge people to teach them how to hit or something.
oh yeah,
And then I can't
like
tell
show
you.
a video and go, "This is ridiculous."
Well, I
you're
can't-
you're
yes.
an a-hole for charging anybody.
I sat at a place watching my daughter pitch one time while she was doing drills with her pitching instructor that I really like. And I was watching the cage, right?
Yeah.
And there's a guy that this poor girl's probably paying to show her how to hit. And she's dropping her back shoulder every time. And hitting it to the, granted, if she makes contact, she's probably hitting it in the gap. But you're trying to hit up on a pitch that's coming up.
Yeah.
Right?
No, the degree of difficulty,
Right.
all you're doing is increasing it.
Dude, it was like Chubbs from Happy Gilmore when that lady's taking those terrible swings and he's reading the news and he's going, that's good.
the
That's
way.
really
yeah,
good.
it's
That's
looking
nice.
good.
Great.
Just bring your hips into
I'm
it.
sitting over there watching going, is this cat even look? And he's going, good job. Good job. I'm like, that's not a good job. That's not a good job. And I've seen it multiple times at different places where I'm like, hitting is very simple.
Oh yeah,
It's very simple. It's hands to the ball, through the ball, eyes. I could break it down for you exactly. And this weekend I told our girls on my team, I said, guys, come the fall, you're going to be very impressed with what we do because I'm breaking down all your swings. You all drop your hands.
Right.
You all drag your hands. I mean, it's so simple if you think about it, man. It's here to here and through. And these parents go to these hitting people, and I'm like, who is your swing's terrible?
Your swing is
What
terrible.
are you paying for this?
Right.
And you don't want to tell a parent that because then they think you're arrogant or something. It's like, dude, I'm only good at a couple things.
I rarely will speak out like in public. This is the most public I've ever said anything like this. But there's only like two things I'm good at, and baseball is one of them. Like if I tell you this is wrong, like it's not a guess. It's not.
You know what's even worse? And every time I see, so my wife gets on me when my kids come up to the plate, and I'm not coaching them.
Right.
I'm going to do what every dad does. Hey, watch the ball. Give them their but don't look at me in the stands. I'm not going to be preaching to you. Every kid nowadays that goes up to the plate, their parents are saying there's 8 people talking to them.
Right.
To the point where I'm down there sometimes coaching, and I'm like, look at me. Look at me. Your head's in the stands. It's ludicrous. The other day, I was standing at third base watching a game. There's a parent. We're hitting. There's a parent standing behind home plate, like, and if you're watching this on YouTube, he's back there like pointing and doing these bird movements and shit. And I'm like, is he calling pitches?
Right.
What is he doing? Is he moving people in the field? What is he doing? And I'm looking at him. I'm going to be honest. Didn't look like anybody that played, because we can tell.
Right.
You can tell. Basketball players can tell. Football players can tell. Baseball, you can tell if somebody has played at a different level.
Oh, yeah.
And it's usually not the bozo behind the backstop.
That's emulating Big Bird.
Call! Oh, look up here. Look up here. I mean, doing the Three Amigos. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. I mean, I looked at my assistant coach who was in the, I'm like, I was like, Todd, and he couldn't see me. He was in the dugout. I'm like, I was like, is that one of our parents?
Right.
That's one of our parents.
And we're kicking him out. Right. You got to go.
His kid's off the team.
I'm sorry.
He's out.
Now, my hitting coach through most of my life was my dad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because I don't know about your family, but I know mine. Mine's 3 generations of trying out for pro teams. So it's like
a lot of failure.
A lot of failure. A lot of failure, but also, and then anytime we all get together, and I know we've talked about this before, when we get together, that's all we do is analyze the situation. Right. What would you do? What could you do? What should you not do? And so when I played ball, it was always my dad, and the people that played ball with me know. You'd hear that whistle. And I know it. And I'd snap to where he's at, and it was always something real simple, like eyes, which means you're not looking at the ball, stupid.
Right.
And that's it. I never got like instruction. I never got like some cool buzzword. I never got anything like that. I would just look at him and he'd be like this, or he'd, hey, pay attention to what you're doing.
Right.
I'd get a reset, and it always helped. It was never anything complex. It was always something simple. I step out of the box. Yeah, keep your eye on the ball. Watch your front foot. Watch your shoulder. It's something simple. Watch, your hands are a little laggy.
Right.
But it was always something, and he didn't critique me every pitch. It was if you did something that was like, here's an easy fix.
Right.
Do it.
Well,
and I actually like that. But some of these, remember, Billy, you squashed the bug and A to C. What?
A to C. No, it's A.
I hate A to C. Have you heard that, right? I hate A to C.
There's no B. B's no man's land.
Yeah. No,
B means you got a box.
Right.
That's Jeff Mercer stuff.
I don't like
That's
it.
the way we were taught. I mean, and honestly, I've got the book upstairs. I've got The Art of Hitting.
Yeah.
By Jeff Mercer and who's the manager?
I'm more of a Tom
Dusty
Amansky.
Baker.
I'm more of a Tom Amansky.
Or Charlie Lau, The Art of Hitting.
Lau, yeah, right.
Dude, my dad, every little league team we always had one Art of Hitting 300 with Charlie Lau, lead arm extension, all that bullshit. Which, I mean, I always had to. I never kept my hands on the bat because of that. But I forget what I was going to say, except that my dad was always see the ball, hit the ball, and that's right.
No, that's it. That's it. Because you can't hit anything if you can't see it.
Right.
No, I mean, I was told that my whole life too. See it, hit it.
You know what I've been trying to preach to. So my oldest is 15, and I've helped with her team. The middle one is 13.
11.
No, she's
12.
13 and then 11. But I help with all the teams. I coach the youngest ones, and then I help the other ones when I have time. And man, it's so, the one thing I'm trying to teach them, and the sooner they learn it, I can tell when they take a pitch off. Like when my daughter's pitching, she's usually right around the zone. When she takes one off, I could tell.
Oh, yeah.
And I call her on it. She hates it.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, what I've been telling our 10U team is, guys, the sooner you all learn, and I know I didn't do it, dude. If we were beating a team, or if we were playing Indianapolis Tech or Broad Ripple, I always assumed that my ability would just take over and be better. I didn't focus, so I was always terrible against those guys.
Yep.
Now you go play University of Kentucky.
Right.
Now my focus, because I want to see how good I can be.
Right.
I want to see what it's
can
yes.
beat you. And now I'm going to do it.
And that's what I try to explain to them. I go, guys, you should be mentally exhausted. Not for 10, but the older kids, the ones in high school. I'm like, you should be mentally exhausted when this is over, because so much is going on you don't understand. If you're focused the game becomes so much easier, and it's so much more fun to play if you dial in. And today, I was all over them, the 10Us. I'm like, when you guys get in the on-deck circle, stop the baloney. Your focus is here.
No
you
more
need
baloney.
To, well, I can't say bullshit.
I know, but I like baloney.
Knock off the bullshit.
I'm a fan of baloney.
You little shits. Knock off the bullshit. No, but I mean, trying to get them just to kind of see that. I know they're not going to do it. I know high school kids aren't going to do it. But it never dawned on me until I started coaching that I'm like, dude, if I would have really
I
focused
couldn't
and
imagine
zoned
the
up
baseball player I would be now.
I mean, because what I preach to them now, if I would have done that myself, I wouldn't have played big. I would have played big time because I didn't have the body. I was never going to do that. But I would have been a lot more successful, and I wouldn't have put as much pressure on myself because I would have competed better, because I would have been focused. I would have kept my hands in. There were so many things. And my second biggest pet peeve is so say you go to a hitting instructor, right? You take your kid, or you go, that the whole soft toss a whole bucket of balls, or take, you're in a cage and they're going to throw you 40 pitches.
Right.
Is so stupid. Because we used to be like 8 to 10, because that's how long you're at bat, maybe, if it's a great at bat. Sure. If not, you're usually 6-7 pitches, right?
Right.
So why are we doing a bucket of balls that has 25 in it, and people are exhausted? After you get through 7 or 8, you're tired. You're fighting it. Now your hands are. I could see in kids. I'm like, one of the coaches that one of my kids played for would do a whole bucket of balls, and I'm like, there's 18 balls in that. There's no, because as they get tired, what happens to their hands? They start driving, their legs. It's like, take 7, 8 good cuts. Get out.
The only thing that I will combat that with, and not that I'm a huge fan of it, because you will.
What, are you going to disagree with me?
A little bit. But it doesn't always, it's not always a disagreement.
Hit the crickets.
Right. It's actually
Here's what I think of that, Kyle.
Okay. The only thing that I like about it, and this is the only thing that I like about it, my dad would do that with me. Like when we would go out and soft toss, and we did it a lot. And it was typically that. It was 8 to 10. 8 to 10 swings. You got it, and you better hammer them.
Right.
You better be driving nails, right? But he would do the bucket of ball. He would do 30 with me occasionally. But 30 better be better than 1. You better be perfect. When you get tired is when you but
your dad's a slave driver.
No, he was.
That's crazy.
He said, when you physically go, you better get sharper mentally. But that's how I.
How old were you? 4.
No,
this Pee Wee team.
This was probably well into high school.
There is something to that.
But it wasn't all the time. But when we did it, you better ball 30. You better be hitting it at least as hard as you did ball 1.
Well, that's a kid too that's in high school that has the mental that you're physically built, and you can do that a little bit. You're still going to struggle a little bit. I'm talking about watching.
It is a struggle. He would yell at he would yell at me while we did it. Get it together. Get your hands where they go. And we didn't do slow 30.
Right.
It was swing and as fast as you can get set, and you better be set properly, because if you're not set properly, what are we doing?
Jeez, a Friday, man.
Oh yeah. No, it was work. And those 30 pitches, and
you didn't make it to the league.
Well, right.
You didn't make it to the league.
That's 5'8", 150 pounds.
Hey, but that work ethic, though, buddy, that makes a problem. Yeah. I do. For older kids, yes, because part of that is the toughness. But I also know that when you're doing that, as you get tired, I can tell when somebody's tired when they're hitting, when they're doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get out. And like, what do you mean? I said, get out. Your hands are dropping. And you know what? And this, I found this out myself, is if you keep and you try to battle through it and you're physically getting tired, now you've done 30 reps.
You've done 15 swings of bad swings. Yeah.
Which it's easier to become bad than it is to fix it.
Absolutely.
So you need, what they say, 7 days or so, whatever it is, to break a habit.
Right.
I mean, I've seen it to where this one particular coach just keeps throwing them balls, and I'm like, those are 7 of the shittiest swings I've ever seen, and you're gonna finish that bucket.
You've got to build to that. You can't. They're 10 years old. You can't go 8, 8, 8, 30. You know, you can't. You can't. You can't. They're not.
Right.
But I will say there were spots, you know, we talked about that focus. Because when you do reach it, you can remember it. And that was one of the things that I did. Like when I had to hyper focus, I could. And I like that. And I'm not saying, again, man, you can't do it all the time.
Have you ever been in the zone?
Yeah.
You have?
Uh-huh.
Like in baseball? Like pitching?
I went perfect 8 1/3.
But everything was
Then
worth that. There was no luck in that. That was
my third baseman, Bill Bucknered it.
Well,
Bill Bucknered a slow roller.
Well,
I was perfect 8 1/3. Perfect.
It happens.
And was there some luck to it? To a degree, yes. But it was for love of the game. I was in that kind of a boat. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had a week like that. And
I've done games.
I had a week and then a day like that where everything, I mean, and I can never describe it because I've never done it in basketball or anything like that. But
no,
I have had a week where I was just like, and I remember
the ball looked like a beach ball.
Well, my roommate was like, I mean, every time my roommate was like, dude, what is going on? I said, I don't know, but everything, it's like it was slowed down to where.
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw it most often on the hill, and typically what I would have is like 2 innings. 2 innings, I would just be untouchable.
Right.
And then it would be like, what?
Well, no.
What happened? And then I'd give up all.
No, it's true. I mean, that's so true.
No,
that's
right.
What I was going to follow up with is, so that's me. That 1 week was me probably being the best I'll ever be, right? Yeah. And I was a junior in college. First week of the season, my junior year of college. And it was the best I'll ever be, right? Now I look at guys that are playing for money and a living.
Right.
They're like that on their worst days.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
yeah,
on their worst days, they can't get beat. I mean, they're fighting and battling, where on my best day, I would be struggling to to do that. Yeah. Where I look at like Juan Soto or somebody or Judge, and you're like, on his worst day, when he loses focus, he still goes, 2 for 10.
They're freaks.
2 or 3 for 10 in a, or 3 for 18 in a series,
right.
with 3. I mean, and then when he's great, he's like 6 for 18 in a series. And I mean, that's what's amazing. That's what breaks, even in basketball, any sport, is you think you're great. You think, man, I've had a good stretch here.
Yeah.
Jordan, those guys, I don't know how that happens to where you've got so much ability that your worst game is a triple double.
One of the things that I really liked, Kobe Bryant, and I'm not a super Kobe Bryant fan.
You're not a fan of how his dating practices?
Well, I'm just not a super fan of him. I mean, he's a great basketball player.
He got better as he got older.
He said, and I guess it's kind of famous, but they don't pay me to play; they pay me to practice.
That's true.
That's how you get to
right
when you look at it that way. And I'm not trying to equate myself with him at all, but I was a pretty good baseball player. Right. I mean, just facts are facts. Right. I'm a pretty good baseball player, and I think it's because I loved to practice. I loved practicing. I loved going to the field. I love shagging balls. I love all of it.
Do you like the game part of it, or being with the guys, being with the fellas?
Both.
Yeah, the fellas thing is big.
Yeah, it was that. Now looking back, I miss it.
Right.
That's what I miss.
That's what I miss the dugout.
That's what I miss dugout. Right.
If I could,
But then I would. I mean, even now, probably. You want to go out and hit some fly balls and jack around on a baseball field? I'll do it all day.
you know what's funny? It's like
all day.
When we were playing in that older league,
Yeah.
we all kind of, joke around like, we don't have it anymore. We're like we screw. It's like being 8 years old again. Where do you give your max effort, or you talk about how like I'm not going to go hard because I don't want to get hurt, but all of those people on that team, all of us played. We were all pretty good. Dude, we can all say all that shit, but the disappointment when you don't play well.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants to be embarrassed in front of a bunch of dudes that
can.
That's right.
That can.
Right. So I can remember being like, and then getting out there being like, oh, this sucks that now I'm relegated to playing second, which in my opinion, second base is probably the worst fielder. He's the guy that, I mean, until you get to a super level where you got to be able to cover ground and do things. But
100% your worst infield is at second.
Or first and then second, because all you got to
have
do
a guy he's flat ass got to catch.
Well,
otherwise
sure.
you're just.
But second, you're knocking the ball down and you're getting. I mean,
you got a short throw. Right?
Yeah, but as you get older, you have to be more athletic because of the people you play. But even that, I mean, every ground ball you still want to. I can remember we were at Center Grove and I'm playing second and that ball's hitting the turf and it's doing some shit and I'm trying to be the, like I feel, take one step right, field right to left.
Right.
And my feet are not as fast as they were. Right. So I feel like I got
brain.
concrete boots on
yes.
and I'm stumbling over myself and kicking it around. And I thought, holy shit, man. Everybody's looking at you like, God, I just feel. Guys, 10 years ago, I was great at this.
Right, yeah.
It sucks, but that competitive nature in you, but the funniest part is as we get older is you get back in the dugout and now everybody's laughing at you because they've done the same thing.
Because they've done the same thing.
And there's no disrespect because everybody knows, man, there's only one guy that really goes out and still can do what he does. I mean, Smitty is the only one that can still go out and bang, bang, choo-choo train. And even him, you throw him some curveballs and he looks like Pedro Serrano.
Yeah, you just missed it by about a yard.
Yeah. It's like, and then he gets pissed, right? He comes in pissed. Why is he throwing me curveballs? Like, because you can't hit them. Because you can't hit them.
Bats are afraid.
That's the thing that I think about that once in a while. I'm like, God, on my greatest week. And the funny thing is, you can tell the stories. You're like, man, it was amazing.
Oh yeah.
But God, there's other people that would look at my greatest week and go, "That's as
good as you got." Right.
It's me every day, bro.
Yeah.
You're like, and that's why you're getting paid $240 million a year.
Right. That's why I'm sitting in a basement doing a podcast,
talking about the glory days and my meat stick and my pork butt.
Don't forget your pork butt.
What else you got? Anything else? Any other stories?
I've got one that I'm. You're gonna make fun of me, but
no.
Oh yeah.
I promise.
No.
Scouts honor.
There's no.
Like Shooter and Hoosiers, Scouts honor.
There is no not making fun of this. So I was. I was sick a few weeks ago. I think I told you that.
Sick of being awesome.
Yeah, sick of
That's
being awesome.
I always say to my kids. And I say, I feel sick. I said, sick of being. Now they repeat. Don't say that in public. You're gonna come off as the biggest.
Yeah, but it's funny. No, just really not feeling this. About a month ago, and had diarrhea pretty bad, and got to the point. It got to the point where I knew I was dehydrated. Right. I'm like, okay, man, I'm not feeling it. I'm not recovering like I normally do.
Right.
So, I'll go to the doctor. So, get up and go to the doctor. I've got an appointment at 10 o'clock, right? I kind of get myself together, shamble into the doctor's office, and I'm sitting there. And it's just not great. And I start, that cold sweat you get, right? And I don't know what happened, but I start coughing.
And you shit your pants.
I sure did. And I'm in a doctor.
I can't laugh at that.
I'm in a doctor's office. I think that
happened to me yesterday.
I'm in a doctor's office, and I'm like, I just shit, and I aggressively shit my pants. I like this is no joke. Not like a little came out. It was like kaboom, right? I'm like, fuck. So I'm sitting there for I definitely did the fudge. And I'm sitting there for a second. I'm not sure what to do because there's other people in the room, and I think they before they smell it, I think they, you know what I mean? There's a look on your face. There's a look.
They heard the.
There's a look on your face when you're just like.
Did he just?
Yeah, he sure did. And I'm sitting there and I can feel it running down my pant leg. Oh yeah.
Oh, you actually shit.
Dude, yeah, I'm not like, no, it was awful. Yeah, now see.
Okay, so I was going to
So
tell you.
I stand up and it's in a small office. There isn't a restroom in there. So I've got to leave and walk out and down the hall into the, right? running down my pant leg into my shoes.
Get the no. You were on the poop cruise.
I told you.
That's not even what'd you do?
What do you mean?
How do you recover from that? You don't have a change of clothes? Did you Peter Griffin it, man? And just take all your shit off and wrap yourself up in toilet paper?
Almost. So I take everything
this
off.
This is a terrible story, dude.
Oh, you have to laugh at it, or what else you got. So
where was this? This wasn't in Carmel or anything.
No.
Could you imagine? Where was that place? Cafe Patachum? You just share your They'd have been like, Southsiders.
Right. So I take my pants off, use my underwear to kind of clean myself off as best as I can. I go and I lock the door to the bathroom.
You have your ass in the sink.
I like trying to clean myself off.
Terrible story.
It was terrible.
The guy comes in after you goes,
wet my pants. No, everything's clean. I'm not that bad. Throw my underwear away. Throw my socks away.
What'd you do about your shoes? You had to put your feet
I
back
threw them away.
Shoes?
Well, I washed them out, but so I washed them out, washed my pants out, put my pants back on, sopping.
Walked out to the doctor.
Sopping
got
wet.
Imodium.
Sopping wet. I mean, all I did was wring them out. What can you do? I did the same thing with my shoes.
I would have left. You didn't go back in the office, did you?
Oh, yeah, I went in and, don't mind me.
Hey, no. So, good news, bad news. I am dehydrated.
No, and you'll love this too. So, they've got the trash can in the wall thing.
Right.
So I pull the trash can out, empty all the trash back into the can, and take the bag so I can sit on it to drive home.
That's fucking genius.
I'm a thinker.
That's a genius.
Now,
Hey, for all the stupid that you are.
It's not genius if it's happened more than once.
Oh God, you might.
Well, I mean, I haven't done that more than once.
You want to go talk
but
to?
You gotta think about things. Have I shit in a hotel lobby running from the desk to the bathroom? Yes.
I've been close.
Have I tried to get up the stairs to my apartment and done that? Yes. Have I fallen, like running into the bathroom and tried to leap onto the toilet and you slide off the toilet in between the toilet and the tub and then just do it there? Yes. Damn. Have you almost gotten all the way down?
You should have been on the poop cruise.
Blow it all over the wall? Yes.
What is wrong with you?
I've had incidents.
So I was.
Now, I'm not saying this is all in the last 6 months, but in the last 40 years.
So have you ever had to go so bad, but you had to pee too, and so you got to pee and you go into the bathroom. There's one stall, dude's in it for an hour, right? And you're like, I got to at least pee, right? And you're trying to control sphincter and prostate.
I don't even try.
You're trying
it can't be done. It's the impossible task.
It can be. It
well,
can be.
You're standing there and holding it close.
You just got to be so concentrating. And
you got to be in flow state.
This happened to me a couple weeks ago. I was sitting there and I'm like, God, is this guy? I'm waiting. I'm like, dude, I'm going to piss my pants before I shit my pants.
So you're doing the little kid pee-pee,
trying
to hold it close.
So I'm like,
I need a
okay.
clothespin.
I'm letting it, it's coming. And I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. And I'm holding the other side. And then I lost focus. I'm like, holy shit, I think I shit my pants. So then I had to cut everything off. And now, now I'm leaning against the sink going, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Let's go.
And what's funny is when you're trying to hold all that in, somebody could punch you in the face and you wouldn't feel it.
Hey, then it just be everything goes. God, it's so bad. So my nephews, that's funny you bring this up, and I don't know if I've said this before. My nephews, when they were little, because they're twins, they, when twins are born, a lot of times they're premature and they're not fully developed. So the potty training was a little bit tougher, right? So we're watching them, and they used to shit their pants once in a while. And we're watching them, and one of them was like, Uncle Jason. And I'm like, yeah, what's the matter, buddy? What happened? He goes, man, I pooped my pants. And I said, you did? And he goes, yeah. I go, so? He goes, well, I pooped my pants. I go, dude, everybody poops their pants.
Everybody poops their
pants. And he said, really? And I said, yeah. He goes, do you poop your pants? And I said, I have.
Sometimes.
And he goes, does Grandpa poop his pants? I go, yes. Like all the time.
All the time.
So when the Queen of Chaos showed up, I said, by the way, he shit his pants. I think he's fine, dude. It was like Billy Madison. If you pee your pants and they walk out.
You are super cool.
Hey, shit stains. Hey, they didn't get potty trained until they were 16. Uncle Jason says it's cool.
It's okay.
Chicks dig it at prom. Just, man, why do you smell like shit? My uncle said it's cool.
Well, I do have to put the caveat at the doctor's office. I did not mess up their seat. Like somebody's like, oh, whoever sits there next. No, I did it and stood up immediately, so nothing went through to the seat.
Oh, okay.
Being diarrhea, it's very.
That has absolutely happened to me where you feel it. A quick, oh shit, something got through the barrier. The sphincter, like, shit. Hey, it's amazing how the eyes change. You're like, Chris has been like, what's wrong with you? I go, I just shit my pants.
I think I may have shit my pants. And what's funny is the people that say they've never done it.
That's a lie.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Absolute lie.
Yeah, I tell everybody they're a liar.
That's the lie. You tell me that, I'm going to tell you you're full of shit because everybody's thought they had to fart once.
Right.
And that turns into a disaster. It's really bad when you're about 70 miles from home on your way to a business meeting. And you're like, shit, now you got to find a... Now you hope you're 20 minutes early so you find a Walmart
so you
to get some pants.
Anything.
Can I expense these? No, those are not expensable. What's this underwear and pair of pants on your expense account? Funny story.
Yeah, I got a funny story with that. I can't name names or anything else. And if they found out that found out that I knew, that there would be trouble all over the place because they'd be super embarrassed. But at the tanning bed, had to take a dump and.
You did?
No. Okay. No, this is not me.
Okay. First of all, you're at the tanning bed.
No, I'm not at the tanning bed. They were at the tanning bed and had to poop.
You say poop. That's funny.
Yeah, because
he called the shit poop.
Poop, I think, is way funnier than shit.
He called the shit poop.
They had to poop, and they didn't think they could get out. They didn't think they could get dressed, get out of the tanning bed, get to the bathroom in time. So they just pooped in the little tiny trash can.
Do you think so? Here, I got a question for you. Yeah, this is a terrible. I cannot believe this is where we're gotten to.
This is where we go.
So, okay, do you ever like been driving and I'm driving and you're like, man, I can make it home, but I have to go to the bathroom. So you have to poop so bad, you have to shit so bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I'm gonna make it. And so you're confident. No, but the closer you get to the bathroom, all of a sudden the more you have to shit.
Yes.
Like you got 80 miles to go. That last
79.9, you're fine.
No, that last 8 steps to the bathroom, all of a sudden you can't get your pants up. It's like you've been sitting dormant for 80 freaking miles, man. Are you kidding me?
Right? Yeah.
I never understand. I mean, there's been times where it's like it's in the nick of time. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, I was just at Walmart driving. It took me 15 minutes to get home, and I had to go that bad. But it's almost like your brain's like, we're home free.
Right.
We're home free.
It's
and your
okay.
body's like,
everything's good.
We're going to shit. We're going to shit. And you're like, As soon as you're not in the clear, it's like, no, my pants are no.
Right.
Happens every time. I'll tell you what's worse is when you have to pee and you hold it. You have to hold it, and then when you finally pee, it's like your vas deferens explodes.
Right.
Like your urethra. I'm sorry, not your vas deferens. That's where the children
I'm with
come
you.
from.
Yeah.
But your urethra, you're just like the burning, and you're like, holy shit! And it's like somebody knocked down the Hoover Dam, and everybody in Silvertown's like, no,
Silvertown.
That's what it is.
I know. Just makes me laugh.
Nobody knows that. Everybody's like, man, these guys are brilliant. Yeah, Silvertown.
We know stuff.
God, that's pretty bad. We got into shitting and pissing. We went from baseball. Oh, something else I was going to tell you. Somebody was listening to the podcast. Somebody new. And I get a text and it says, hey, listen to the podcast. Thanks a lot. Grease 2 is now running through my head.
That was on TV. I almost called you.
I watched it, dude. I watched it and I'm like,
hey, I got a point too.
He's like, Zanoni. She's like, you just don't understand, Michael. If you really want to know. And I'm like, yeah, what I want in a guy. I'm like, Michael, you can't see this. She just wants a cool rider.
That's right. She just wants a cool rider.
What would they say if they knew it was my? I'm telling you, one of the greatest movies of all time. One of the greatest, most underrated movies of all time.
Oh, definitely underrated. Because doesn't Michelle Pfeiffer, doesn't she bag on it?
She hates that she was.
Yeah, and I love it.
And you know what? Your boy Adrian Zmed.
Adrian Zmed.
He was great.
I love Adrian Zmed.
He was great.
Yes, Grease 2.
He was in 3
Bachelor
movies,
Party.
wasn't he? 2. That's 2. And he was in a police academy he was in a.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
He was in a sitcom. What was the sitcom?
I don't know. If I ever did a movie,
Farrah Fawcett in it. It had Farrah Fawcett in it.
Fall Guy.
No, that was.
Farrah was in Fall Guy. Wasn't
Who?
She? Farrah Fawcett. She's in Fall Guy.
Yeah, but that wasn't it. He was in. It wasn't Charlie's Angels.
This is where we need Alexa.
It wasn't Charlie's Angels. It was. He was in a cop show. He was in a cop show.
T.J. Hooker.
Yes.
Look at me go.
Kyle.
Yeah, if I was going to direct a movie, I would write a part for Adrian Zmed.
Why? He's not that good.
Adrian Zmed is awesome.
He's a terrible actor.
No.
He's not good.
Don't say it.
He's not good.
Oh, I love Adrian Zmed.
Kyle, he's not good. You think he's a good actor?
Yeah, he's great. He can sing, he can dance, he can do it all. He can be a badass motorcycle guy.
We're going prowling.
Right.
Prowling tonight.
Yeah, he's great.
He's not.
And he looks like a fighter.
You know who I really hate? Do you, Omar Epps? You know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
From Juice and from,
right.
what was the football movie that had all the bullshit where everybody was juiced up and shit?
Yeah, the Program?
Yes. Where you know, in every movie that he's in, he they do his brain is like he's running in the program when he's running the football. He's like, number 42.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody does that.
Nobody does that.
Nobody. I played plenty of it. I never had the nation's leading rusher in high school behind me going, number 65. Right. He was too busy trying to not get whacked.
Right.
So every movie he's in. So when he was in Major League 2,
yeah,
he did the same stupid, he just can't act worth a shit. And I'm like, how did this guy ever break onto the scene?
Everybody thought he's good looking, I thought.
Really?
I don't know. How else?
Sucks at acting. How can people suck that bad at acting? I act like I like you every time we do this, and nobody's calling me.
You do a great job of it.
Thank you. Nobody's calling me, bro. Nobody's calling me.
You do a great job of it.
So you don't like me? Gotcha.
Gotcha. Right. This has been a few months now.
It has been. Where are we at time wise?
45.
That's it.
Well, we had the whatever
little
30
break,
or 40.
So we're an hour and a half.
Probably every bit.
Probably need a bolt.
All right.
I don't want you shitting your pants. I just got the bathroom.
This isn't that common. Come on.
For you?
For
Dude,
me.
Yeah, I mean, no.
I mean, maybe.
You know what? By the time we're old enough where we're always shitting our pants, do you understand?
I still haven't told you my favorite story yet.
Let's hit it.
No. It'll be a whole episode.
A whole episode for one story?
It'll take me a good half hour to tell it. Yeah.
What's it about?
Shitting.
Shitting?
Uh-huh.
Like taking a shit?
Sort of.
So we have to have We have to have
We'll
Shit
have
Chronicles 2?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Part 2?
Yeah,
So this is a part 1?
yeah.
We should have.
I could go
then you need
into
to-
all these stories, but none of them will match this story. None of them.
I've got some good shit stories.
I think I could top it.
Dude, one of my. Dude, I'll tell you a quick one. We went to IU one time. We went to IU one time from junior college. We went to visit some friends, and it was winter. My buddy had diarrhea like that. And we're driving to the dorms to meet our friends before we go out. And
right.
We're actually going to stay in the girls' dorm. We're going to see girls are our friends of ours. And he's like, dude, you got to pull over. It's snowing outside. So you got to pull over. Like, what do you mean you go? Dude, I'm going to shit my pants. Pull over. Pull over. He goes out. You see him squatting. And he does he wiped his ass with snow.
That's right. I've done it with leaves.
We've all done leaves.
I've also torn off the bottom of my T-shirt.
I've done that.
Yeah,
well, you've done. I mean, shit happens. Literally.
Now, I did it one time going around 465. We stopped somewhere just north of Beech Grove, and I was like, I'm gonna.
Happens at Beech Grove all the time.
The guardrail on the side of the road. I was Kilroy,
dude. One of my.
hanging onto the guardrail to make sure I didn't fall down the slope.
Oh my God! No.
At about 3:00 in the morning.
Well, this guy does that in the snow. Obviously, gets rid of his underwear.
Oh, right.
We get to the girls' dorm where we're staying, and
he thinks he's okay.
Well, he's like, I'm not going out. I'm not feeling it. So we all go out.
Yeah.
We come back. He doesn't have any underwear, so he's wearing one of the girls' underwear.
That's right.
We're like,
just put them on backwards like a weird looking thong.
you know what, dude? But it looks good on you.
But it looks
you
good
get
on
a
you.
free bowl of soup with that. I mean, there are so many dumb stories like that. The guy, I could show you his picture in that picture that sits on the wall. The seniors from my college baseball team took a shit on the side of I-69.
Yeah.
On the way to a game, and that's a great story. We'll get into next time as well. But hey, stick around for the shit episodes part 2.
We'll
I
have
guess.
to come up with a cool name that doesn't have a cuss word in it. I don't know. The Poop Chronicles.
The Poop Chronicles. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, shit's not a bad word. We only said
Well,
shit.
I know, but like I said, I truly think poop is a funnier word. I like poop. Poop makes me
I
laugh.
had no idea we'd do a whole episode on that, but
No, well,
hey,
did,
hold on. I might have something for us. Let me look something up for you real quick. I'll give us the outro before the outro starts. You're
Okay.
gonna love this. Hold on 1 second. Let me search it. Yep, there you go. You ready?
Nice.
Listen. It's called the fart song, ladies and gentlemen. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, make sure you join us again. See you, Kyle.
See you, buddy.
That's it for today's episode. But before you go, ask yourself this. What's your unplanned story? Because here on Unplanned Approach, we don't script the chaos. We celebrate it. Real people, real moments, real life plot twists that no one saw coming. Whether it was a chance encounter, a missed train, or a wild pivot that changed everything. We want to hear it. Got a story that deserves the mic? Hit us up. Submit yours at unplannedapproach.com or find us on socials at unplannedapproach. Until next time, stay spontaneous, stay real, and never underestimate going in without a plan. This is Unplanned Approach, where the detour is the destination.